And for Jamie Vardy, another goal. His 199th in a Leicester shirt. He gave City the lead after 16 minutes. A left-footed volley into the top left corner of the goal after El Khanous and Thomas linked up so well. And before half-time, Jordan Ayew firing one in from the edge of the box after his free kick had been blocked. It means, Jerry, we've seen a win, we've seen a goal, we've seen 2 clean sheets, and everyone goes home happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And not before time, John, but listen, that's a bit more like, okay, Southampton, poor side, finished bottom of the Premier League, but you still got to go out and beat what's in front of you. Leicester have done that, and they've done that quite easily, to be honest. So yeah, listen, everyone goes home happy today, and that's a bit more like it.
Full time from inside King Power Stadium. The show goes on with Dan and the boys back in the studio. It finishes Leicester 2, Southampton 0.
Thank you very much, John. Yes, welcome along to the studio with me, Dan Bates. Steve Howard and Matt Elliott are with me as we can finally dissect a victory. It feels like it's been a while, but it's nice to do so. Jerry Taggart is still with us. He's been on co-commentary duty. Jerry, happy with what you've seen today? I know we spoke before the game, didn't we, about Southampton, obviously the struggles they've had this season, Leicester themselves having struggles as well, but it's great to just get a 3 points and get a bit of feel-good back around King Power Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's all you can hope for after, the worst case scenario, has raised its ugly head and Leicester have been relegated, but so all you can do is go out and try and do your best till the end of the season. And in fairness to Leicester, it was quite comfortable for them today. Southampton, deservedly so, you have to say, finished bottom of the league. But for Leicester, just because they've been relegated, there's still a lot of football to play, and there's still a lot of pondering to do between the players, the staff, the management staff, and everybody else involved at the club. And at least everyone could go away today with some positives.
Just finally from you, Jerry, Jamie Vardy on to 199 now. He took that goal really well, didn't it? You would not bet against him in his remaining couple of games to get to 200.
No, absolutely. And everybody around here is hoping and praying and crossing their fingers, legs, eyes that happens. I'm more disappointed at passing Dak and not passing that ball earlier for young Luke Evans to score in his debut. I mean, what a way to come onto the stage. I thought he should have passed it 2-3 seconds earlier, passing. But anyway, it wasn't to be. But yeah, as far as Jamie's concerned, yeah, what a fitting way to end his Leicester City career with scoring 200 plus goals.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jerry. We'll see you again in a week or so. We spoke at half-time and Leicester were 2-0. They were very comfortable, weren't they? Because Southampton, the table says it, they are the worst team in the league. Leicester were a lot better than them today. But it's really nice, isn't it, to just feel a bit of enthusiasm in the crowd and be able to talk here and sit here about goals and a victory.
Well, it's nice to talk about goals, it always is. And after obviously the season they've had, it's nice to get a win and give everybody a bit of positivity around the place and put some somewhat smile on people's faces. So it's always nice to do that. And I was just hoping they would score more goals, but obviously they'll take the 2-0 and they'll take the win because they controlled the game totally. Really. I mean, just show the stats there. I think there was only 2 shots on target from Southampton. I can't even remember them, to be honest.
No, I can't.
So I think they totally controlled the game.
Yeah. No, I can't actually.
The header that
was offside.
Saved,
that counts.
And then the rebound was knocked in. So I think the original header count as
we'll take that
as a shot.
Yeah. I just totally in control. Leicester there for me, which was pleasing to see, to be honest.
Yeah, it was all pretty straightforward, wasn't it? And bordering on mundane, really. Second half. There wasn't a lot to get excited about, was there? But listen, that was more than sufficient from Leicester's point of view. After what happened in the first half, when they were the better side, had the more threat about them, more purpose, creativity in the ranks, and Southampton look what they are, which is, as you say, Dan, statistically the worst team in the league. And it showed today. Really, they're pretty toothless. They tried to change it up a bit, didn't they? Make some sort of effort to get back in the game, but almost that offside goal that was rightly given offside, sort of like knocked any bit of wind they had in their sails at all, didn't it? They got themselves, that was a header from Onuachu, but then to take that sort of opportunity to be back in the game away from them, it just killed them off. And they were thought, you could see it's not going to be our day.
Yeah.
And Leicester just cruised through, really. Yeah. Didn't have to exert themselves too much at all. And it was very comfortable, second 45.
Yeah, it really was. The supporters had a go, didn't they? They were singing their song for about half an hour long. At least they've, they
something
showed
to
up
talk about on the way
which, to be
home.
fair, is similar to what the Leicester fans do. They always show up in numbers, despite the now relegation. They showed up in great numbers today, over 30,000 of them. And
they did, yeah. And a lot of people were a bit pessimistic about how many would make it today. Different things considered. Big turnout from Southampton, and you think fair dues to them. But no more than Leicester were against Brighton not so long ago and against Wolverhampton last weekend. The whole far side of Molineux on the lower tier. But, supporters, they're die-hard, aren't they? They're die-hard regarding their club. But, it was a nice... We talked about positivity, and there was a fair bit of it going around today, particularly in the first half. It's a nicer feel. It was nice that there wasn't no sort of antagonism going on there, really, or any bad blood at all. People, I suppose, slowly start to. I don't think they forget, Steve, but obviously they slowly start to come to terms with what's happening, and then they can turn their thoughts. Staff, players, and supporters, largely as well, turn their thoughts towards the future and what that holds, and their support will help bring that along.
I think it was good when, obviously Leicester taking the lead, all the crowd are up, and especially the Vard score. It was good, and I think
there wasn't a lot happening at that time,
not,
was it?
Not really.
The crowd were getting a little bit restless one way or another.
And here we go again, and we're going to beat these, and the bottom of the league and like you rightly said, Southampton bottom of the league for a reason, because they were less than average today, to be honest. But taking away from Leicester, they came and did a job. But I think it's just nice for the fans to to get that positivity back, and if they can take that into the next 3 games, and and ride the season out with up high. I mean, that's all you want, right?
Listen, go on, Matt.
Sorry, Dan. It's like, we spoke about it earlier, but I know it's going to be a different kettle of fish, and there will be changes and lots occurring between now and start of next season. But going up against, is a valid point. Again, Southampton will be, from the outset, regardless of how bad their season has been, imagine they'll be one of the favourites.
Oh, absolutely.
In the top group, won't they?
Yeah.
As will Ipswich, and if Leicester can get a couple of good results against them, I wouldn't say today was emphatic, but it was convincing.
Comfortable.
Yeah, and enough to think, we go, well, hang on a minute, next year.
Yeah, you're playing against them.
If Southampton, one of our rivals, then maybe it's not as bad a dire a situation as people think. And then more work needs to be done, obviously, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. But little shoots of encouragement today.
And okay, Jamie Vardy won't be here next season. We'll talk about him in just a moment. But there's a number of players clearly on that pitch that will be here next season. They've shown a good account of themselves against the team.
Yeah.
Presumably, any team that gets relegated to the Premier League immediately becomes one of the favourites, don't they, to come back up? And they were much better than today, Matt.
Yeah, exactly. I just sort of made that point before, really. But just to sort of endorse it more, without sort of analysing and going through individuals, there's going to be a fair chunk of this squad that will be in the Championship next season. I don't think there will be certain players that depart, and probably a fair few that come in, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be absolutely a wipeout of the wardrobe, if you like, or I don't totally revamped. Do you? It'd be a different emphasis on the squad, I think.
Yeah, I think there'll be some departures, some
Yeah,
arrivals, hopefully.
course,
But you know, but
I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it's drastic. Like you say,
wholesale,
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know, and if they, I don't know. To be fair, the squad has shown itself not good enough to be in the Premier League, and individuals within that. But I would say a large percentage of them are plenty good enough to challenge at the top end of the Championship. It's just about those extra players well, the ones that depart, and depends who comes in, that'll make the big difference.
Jamie Vardy then, let's talk about him. 199 now for the club. He's got, well, best part of 3 games still to go. That huge run, the final game against Ipswich, of course, here at King Power Stadium. Will he get to 200?
Yeah, he'll get to 200. Yeah.
You got to say yes.
He better.
Yeah.
No, hopefully he would have done it today because, like we said bore, you know, he'll want to do it as quick as he can.
Yeah.
But you know, he's got a great chance. Obviously, you know, 1 goal that might, you know, they're creating chances again. Teams creating chances. He's scoring. So
chance didn't come for him second half, did it? Like I thought.
Not really.
Thought it would. I thought even if Leicester just sort of cruised it, I thought opportunities would arise, but not to be. But yeah, you wouldn't back against him.
No, you wouldn't back against him at all.
No. Not at all. And the way he took that as well, he just we thought he'd get one more chance in the second half. He didn't come, did it? Which was a shame.
No,
really.
exactly.
He didn't have
surprised me.
that moment, but surely he will in those remaining.
But it's funny, you know, like, looking at the goal back again, it was slightly behind him as well, and he's left foot and he's caught at the peach.
Good finish.
Oh, it was a great finish.
Yeah.
There's got to be one more Vardy.
There's got to be
one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
I say he didn't have a chance. He had a free kick, didn't he? I don't think
Get himself
in his
involved.
whole 199. Surely there's not a single free kick in there, is there?
No, I don't remember any. No, not certainly not scoring. No.
But you would, though, wouldn't you?
It'd be a little Robert Hoof moment. That
you'd be taking all sorts. You'd be taking free kicks. I'll be taking corners as well.
And then he dived in like a lunatic, didn't he? Trying to win a penalty as well.
For a second, I thought it was a penalty as well. I thought he maybe got there first, but no. He's obviously been an incredible servant, hasn't he? As you were saying earlier, and if he can get that, that would just be.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. I mean, it's you know. I was going to say it'll never happen again, but it might. But I doubt it will happen again. Somebody like Vardy being at a club and scoring all the goals and the records he's got, which is, you know, he's been a phenomenal servant for the club, and you know, whatever he does next season or wherever he is, I'm sure he'll give it his all for anybody who you know, who takes him. So hopefully he scores many goals to come, and you know, and rides it out for the old boys, you know.
Yeah. There's plenty of time for more accolades for Jamie, I think, down the line, isn't it? But he deserves a mention just on his merits like today, really. Just for that finish alone. From memory, he didn't have sort of too much involvement in the game. He doesn't so much these days. It's more, he's the final point, isn't he? Like the end contact, if you like. But still a massively important player, and he helps sort of unify the team as well. He keeps them organised in that front area of the pitch as well. He doesn't just, he's not like a lone wolf, is he? He's always there sort of inspiring teammates. Which
is good because, you know, the chances, obviously the team weren't creating chances, but you never see him like frustrated or anything like that. He always keeps going.
He does,
Which is a credit to him because he can easy, you know, throw his toys out the pram and take the hook.
Yeah.
But, you know, he keeps going and going and going.
Especially, I mean, that's one of his strengths. That, like you say, you keep making runs and you don't get the ball, then you start changing your movements and you become less of a threat, don't you? Yeah. He keeps at it. And like you say, he doesn't, very rarely has a moan up. He'll have a word or two, but you know, I'm sure he does behind the scenes.
I hope he does, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not to the detriment of his team. But he keeps at it, and sooner or later he gets his reward, and that's difficult to do. I mean, you'll know better than me, but even in the short time that I played up front, on the rare occasions, you go trundling around trying to make a run.
Yeah.
Do it once or twice. I'm like, come on, lads. Well, I stopped running. Basically.
I think that's the old. When Mick Harford said to me when I was a younger player, that keep making your runs because when you stop making the runs, the ball will come.
You're definitely not getting in then, are you?
Exactly, and I think that's what Vards does. He thinks, you know what, I'm going to keep making the runs, and one time it'll come, and and when I get my chance, I'll finish it. And that's what he's done all his career, and you know, he's just remarkable player.
It sounds straightforward, but
It is, yeah.
in reality,
it's not, yeah.
It's hard to do that without putting your arms up in the air because you know you see people coming short, don't you? Or you know, you do it 4 or 5 times. It's tiring, isn't it? Totally. Especially when you get nothing on the end of it. You don't even get a ball. And you think, I'm not doing that. But good strikers like Stevie keep doing it.
Cheers, mate.
Keep doing it.
Strikers that turn Marcel Desailly inside and out as well.
Well, yeah.
You talking about me there? Or?
I thought you were going to say that turn quicker than milk or whatever. But
no, I was actually paying you a compliment, Matt.
I know, yeah, but we've got no video footage of it to back it up, have we? I might have it on my phone. Where's my phone? Yeah, John Terry was in the vicinity as well at the same time. But never mind.
But GGZK Game TV says the scene when the referee was down in pain, Jamie Vardy runs over and blows the ref's whistle for him. So he's still giving us, even in these final few games, some classic Jamie Vardy moments.
That's just brilliant. He's cheeky little, you know, have that, blow the whistle. Love it.
Yeah, when I first saw the ref on the floor, I thought it was Vardy that had done it.
Yeah.
You know, like you would be surprised. A little look over his shoulder, maybe. But no, it was Ayew, wasn't it? Yeah, that's good. That's good improvisation from Jamie there.
Foxes Forever says, well done, my Leicester lads. Andreas just puts a blue heart. Bubba says it's like Christmas in May in the East Midlands. 3 points, a Vardy goal and a clean sheet. Koala says Vardy is on fire. Jim says, thank you for playing the youngsters and giving us something to feel good about. A1 Hardy says, a great win. Jack says, finally a win after a 3-month wait. Let's go back to the point there from Jim Rauco. He says about the youngsters and about seeing them. Jake Evans could have scored at the end there had the ball come earlier maybe from Patson Daka. But a few of the youngsters. There are positive signs there, aren't there? Monga looked great in his 10-minute cameo as well. So some excitement going forward, I think. Certainly.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm all for sticking the young lads in and make them prove a point and see if they can handle the situation. It's not an easy situation for anybody, but I think it's exciting when you got people like Monga. If you give him the ball quick, just let him do. He looks an exciting type of player. So, it's only valuable experience for the young lads, and hopefully they all kick on and obviously take it into the next season. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I suppose like Golding could look at it, and it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Like paid a few quid for him and.
He has been injured for a lot of the season.
Yeah. In fairness, injury has been a factor, but coming on, I suppose, just to get a real quick feel of it. As a player, you'd want to be getting on a little bit earlier, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Rather than just into injury time, wasn't it? I think, but Monga got a fair run out, 25 minutes or so. Evans, I'm interested in seeing at his standard. That whether he looks, from what I see in the 21s. Looks like he's got a little
proper player.
Yeah, a little bit about him. And the best thing about him, he's got more than just one attribute, but he does look like a genuine finisher. He's got a proper eye for goal, and like to see that tested at a higher level. Yeah, but interesting to keep an eye on him.
You spoke about the runs, and I know it was quite a simple one right at the very end there. Daka getting the ball for Evans to run, but he anticipated that, the ball's going to break here. I could be in for a goal, and that's the sort of thing a striker would do. It would be a tap-in, had the ball come. He's sprinting there, ready for it.
Absolutely. I think Daka should have played it a bit slightly earlier into his pass.
That's what Jerry said on the commentary as well. Yeah.
And if he does that and he scores a goal, but the desire to get there, to think, I want to score a goal, which is great, but obviously the ball just didn't come from Daka in time. But no, absolutely keep making your.
What does that tell you about him as a?
It's good because it's desired. Absolutely. A 16-year-old.
Is he only 16?
Yeah.
Is he?
I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Of him, Monga. You know what I mean?
Monga 15, Evans 16.
16. Yeah.
I mean,
he looks well developed. Evans as well physically. He looks like robust, and sharp, and he creates chances for himself as well. But he looks like he's got cleverness, intelligence in terms of timing of runs and some, sort of touched on it to a degree there. Recognised the situation, didn't he? But he can finish. He can finish as well, and he could be. Listen, not pumping him up too much. It's very early days, but I'll be really interested to see how he gets on next year and how many opportunities he gets.
Well, all whether a loan might be the thing, but the fact that he's been thrown in Premier League games and he looks
in
like
the Championship, he could get involved in the mix. I think. I think it might be one of those situations. Now he's had that experience, but Evans just seems to me a bit more mature physically. I think could deal with the wear and tear of the Championship. You're talking 16. Ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I suppose loan is a likelihood, but the bits I've seen of Evans, don't want to jump the gun. I think if he goes on loan, you might think, you might be calling him back quicker than you think. Quicker than you think, because I think he's got a bit about him.
But again, moving forward, then there are so many positives that can be taken. There's been so many negatives this season that I feel it is quite important to accentuate these positives that we have seen today. Bilal El Khanous was fantastic again today, wasn't he?
If they can keep hold of him in the Championship, he will be a massive plus. Because he's only this season he's been there, isn't it? And it's a bit of a slow start for him, wasn't it? From memory, the start of this campaign.
Yeah.
Or sort of in and out on the fringes, wasn't he? But then you could see there was a decent player there, but once he got settled, became one of the main men. Don't get me wrong, he's still got a lot of developing because he can overdo it at times and pick and choose his times to do what he's capable of. He's a good footballer, though, isn't he? He's a good player, and he's better than Championship level without a doubt. But if he is playing next year for Leicester in that division, he'll be a real force,
I guess he's the type of player for you as a striker you'd like to have played with him because he's always looking up and looking forward.
He's always looking forward. That's the first thing he's thought was, can I get him? Can I play forward? Which is great, especially in a team. Hopefully next season, obviously when they're flying, they're winning games, he'll come alive. He's an exciting player, and people feel he'll feed off that. He'll create chances like he does here. Every time he gets the ball, he creates something. He'll get a free kick, or he'll take somebody on and play a forward pass. So he's an exciting player. Like Matt's hit the nail on the head. If they can keep hold of him, brilliant.
If he was playing in a team that's dominating, then I think he's capable of spectacular at times, isn't he? Maybe a few little Olays and all that business, isn't it? But long way to go before Leicester in that stage.
But again, let's give you the final point for today, Matt. After a good victory, a victory that's been a long time coming. It's fair to say the first home goal since the Brighton game in December in the Premier League. That is a long time for those supporters to have to wait for a goal, and they've seen a couple today, and they celebrated them rightly as well.
Oh, well, too right, and in that long coming, it's amazing, really, isn't it? That record, but I mean, the celebrations were sort of broken out because there was a long, both home and away. Long time without scoring, was it against Brighton? The supporters were magnificent down there. I was lucky enough to travel down. Well, the journey wasn't that good, but the game was interesting enough. But,
the only man ever to get stuck in traffic.
But the supporters were there in their thousands, and it was. They'd just been. No, relegation hadn't been confirmed then, had it, or had it?
Not yet, but it was
all done and dusted. But they were still there, supporting the team, and when Mabadidi scored, you'd have thought it was Leicester had qualified for Europe or something on the back of it. It was amazing how the supporters were, how they can jolly themselves. To be fair, and quite similar today, really. They're accepting of what's happened. They're not happy with it. And they'll say their piece in due course, but as best they can, they support the team, they support the players and individuals, and when they get a chance to celebrate, they make the most of it, and that's what being a supporter is all about.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you very much to Steve Howard and to Matt Elliott for your company. Thanks to Jerry as well and John on commentary duty for us. But we've seen Leicester goals at home in the Premier League, so I think the 32,000 fans can go home at least a little bit happier this evening. 3 points on the board and a clean sheet as well. We hope everyone has enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone that has got involved with us on YouTube, whether that's commenting, liking. Do make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. It's been a pleasure today, actually, seeing a victory and seeing some goals at home. So I hope everyone has a really lovely bank holiday weekend. See you later, everybody.